withdrawing from desires through the conscious visualization of one's inner space is the higher state of awareness. Tatparam purusha khyate gunavaidrishinyam. Now let's enter into the subject. The today's subject, what Patanjali wants to convey through this sutra. Understanding of this one sutra can completely change the way in which we look at the world, the way in which we experience the world, the way in which we feel our life. The whole thing can be transformed just by this one sloka. The last sutra, Patanjali spoke about the renunciation of the outer world things. In this sloka, Patanjali speaks about the vairagya related to the inner world. I can say the vairagya related to the inner world is more important, need to be understood than the vairagya related to the outer world. As I was explaining the word vairagya, it is neither attachment nor detachment beyond attachment and detachment. If I have to give you one example, say at the age of 5, you are playing with the toys, car, bus, so many different toys. And now, at the age of 40 or 50, you are not detached from the toys, you have transcended the attachment with the toys. You don't say, oh, you don't know how difficult it is to renounce these toys. It's not that you have a hangover. It's not that you constantly you are thinking about it and forcibly you renounced. No. You just transcended. And you don't need it. You are just beyond. This is what I call vairagya. Just elevating your consciousness to that level where you don't feel all those things are attached to your being, or you are detached from it. Please understand. This idea needs to be understood in a very deeper way from all the angles. I have seen people. In India, I lived 9 years by walking, visiting different spiritual places and temples and staying there. Because of my travel, I have seen different swamis, sadhus, bairagis, people who renounced. When you understand the word, literally, that word renunciation or vairagya in your own way, that can lead to too many complications. I have seen these people. They will leave their house, wealth, everything and escape. Go to Haridwar or Rishikesh somewhere. They will sit outside some temple for their food, begging and eating. But slowly they will get attached to the place where they are sitting. And they will not allow anybody else to sit in that place. I have seen. Means the understanding about vairagya did not happen properly. One more thing. The moment they read this kind of some of the ideas, see, usually people are attached to the outer world, the materialistic things. I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. Suddenly, somewhere, if they read or listen, this material things only gives too much of problem, then immediately they start choosing poverty. Please understand. Choosing is suffering, not what you choose. Choosing is suffering. If you choose wealth or choose poverty, choice is suffering. The ultimate lies, choicelessness is bliss, choice is suffering. Even if you choose poverty, continuously you will be forcing yourself to live in that. I have seen some of the so-called the social leaders who try to live in poverty. These guys will put up all shows that I travel only in the third class compartment, I only live like this, live like that. They put up a show, I have seen. The big problem is, these guys, to maintain their poverty, society has to spend so much money on them. No, really, these guys, they will not travel in the first class compartment, they will travel only in the third class. Because he's a big guy, the moment he wants to go into the third class compartment, the whole compartment has to be cleaned and reorganized and arranged equal to the first class. Better if he goes in the first class taking one ticket, less money for the railway department, less expense for the railway department. I have seen one Swami who drinks only milk. The big problem is, his whole battalion, including the cow, has to go with him. I think it is much better if you drink somewhere here and there. Sometimes, for poverty, too much money is spent. If you choose poverty, indirectly you choose many sufferings. Understand? Here, when Patanjali uses the word Vairagya, neither choosing wealth nor choosing poverty, bringing a deep understanding about yourself. Please understand. If you come to the understanding of choicelessness, suddenly you see, you radiate so much of energy, so much of awareness. Continuously you will be attracting wealth towards you, but you will not be bound by it at all. Please understand this from my own experience, I tell you. I am working with millions of disciples around the world. So whatever truth I express, and they try to experiment and experience in their life. From my experience with them, I wanted you to understand an important fact. When you choose the choicelessness, when you are in choicelessness, suddenly the suffering, anxiety, fear, insecurity, everything disappears. When that disappears, your energy will be always in high mood. Naturally, you will be creative. You will be expressing. You will attract wealth around you. Apart from that, you will be in that peaceful, restful awareness. In the last sutra, 15th sutra, Patanjali talks about the Vairagya related to the outer world. The few ideas which I expressed now. Now, he is taking us to the deeper level of truths. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. Please understand. Many people come to me and ask, Swamiji, why do we have so many different gods, so many different paths, so many different masters, so many different techniques? I tell them, please understand, we had so much of inner world freedom. I ask them, see, in the West, so much of outer world choices you have, whether variety of car, or way of houses, or luxury, all the comforts of the outer world, you have so much choice. Because they had freedom in the outer world, they went on exploring. They went on developing, doing so much of research and development in the outer world. So when so much of research and development happens in the outer world, you have variety. Same way in the East, we had so much of freedom in the inner world. And so much of research and development happened in the inner world. Because so much of R&D happened in the inner world, we have variety. One more thing, each tradition of Hinduism is independently intelligent to lead you to enlightenment. Each master is self-sufficient. That is why I call our Hindu tradition as group of religions. We are actually group of religions. Each tradition is independently intelligent. It can lead you to ultimate enlightenment. Each master is independently intelligent, who can lead you to enlightenment. Each technique is independently intelligent. From scratch to ultimate, it can lead you. Here, each sutra of Patanjali is independently intelligent. It can lead you to enlightenment. Each sutra of Patanjali can create a religion. This sutra, Vaidrishinyam, that is the key word. I want you to understand that one word, Gunavaidrishinyam, free from the qualities. How we are caught in the qualities, how we can liberate ourselves from the qualities. If you just look little deep, all our attachment or suffering is caused not just by the objects, the quality of mood which we experience through the object. Please understand. You want some objects again and again in your life. If you believe some kind of mood is created by that object, which is good for you. If you believe that a particular object creates a mood which you don't like, which you don't want, you want to move away from that object. For example, we want money not just for the sake of money. See, money expands your freedom. For example, without money, you have only one choice. You can lie down in your couch and worry. With money, you have choice of sufferings. Now you have more choice. You can lie down in Hawaii beach and worry. Or you can lie down in Miami beach and worry. Or you can lie down in India, Ooty or Kodaikanal and worry. You have choice. That is the reason we go behind money. See, anything, whether it is object or a person, the mood which they create in you, based on that you decide whether you want to be around that or away from that. So ultimately everything boils down to the guna, to the quality which you experience in that. Patanjali is such a great master. All the complications, difficulties, disorders a modern man is going to go through, he has predicted 5,000 years ago and gave solution. Sometimes surprising. How could he predict what we are going to go through in the so-called developed civilization? See, all the modern day problems, he is giving a solution in this one sutra. Three things needs to be understood. First thing, the object. Object or a person, money, your home, or car, bank balance, or son, father, mother, object or person, anything which is in the outer world. Second thing, the experience which you go through because of that. Because of that, if you are around object or person which creates joy in you, that emotion, that quality which you experience in your inner space, that is second thing. Third thing, the connection between these two. All these three needs to be understood. First, the object. Second, the experience. Third, the connection between the experience and the object. The connection between these two. In Vedanta, we have a word called Tripudi, means experienced, the object, experiencer, the subject, experience, what goes between these two. For example, a sweet. First, that sweet may create joy in you. So the experiencer experiences the joy. After some time, maybe after 4 or 5 sweet, the same sweet may create different experience in the same experiencer. Please understand. Here the object is also same, the person who is experiencing also same, but the experience itself will be different. Experience itself will be suddenly different. All we need to understand is the experience and the experienced are independent. They cannot be logically connected. You can see in your life, the same person, when you are in love, how you feel connected, how you always wanted to spend time around with that person. Suddenly when the love disappears, the whole thing is topsy-turvy. The whole thing is different. Now, you just want to escape from that person. Same person and same, the person who is experiencing is same, the person who gives experience is same, but suddenly the experience becomes different. Please understand. That is what Patanjali is trying to express here. All these three cannot be depended. All the three are constantly changing, but you go on believing all these three are stagnant, all these three are eternal, all these three are permanent. Please understand, the very root idea with which we are functioning and the very reality, the gap between these two is responsible for all our sufferings. That is responsible for all our sufferings in the outer world or in the spiritual practice. I can say, this sutra, if it is understood, many seekers, if you are a seeker and having lot of difficulty in your spiritual practice, everything can be cleaned. Wherever I go, whenever I meet seekers, this one question always asked, FAQ. This is a frequently asked question, Swamiji, how can I balance between my materialistic life and spiritual practice? How can I balance between this life and this life? There is no such thing as two life, understand? There is no such thing as two life. Because we have this foolish idea that there is two life, we always think, especially Indians, they think spirituality is when you become old. No, really. I have seen in my programs, youngsters, they say, oh, meditation, we can do it in the old age, leave it, it's okay. And old people, they say, all these things should have been done in the young age itself. Now it is too late. This one understanding can solve the whole problem completely. Here and now, it can solve the problem. Any problem with this one understanding, you can solve it. You can sort it out.